Okay, all right, guys. Here is our key vocabulary. Uh, Here in this lesson, well, let me just go back for you guys. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about the parts of a right triangle and Pythagorean's theorem. You've probably heard this in 8th grade or middle school, but we're just going to briefly go over it right quick to make sure that you thoroughly understand this, because we're going to build onto another topic from this. So make sure you understand the parts of a right triangle, find the missing sides of a right triangle, know the difference. But we guys already know the difference between a side and an angle. And then we're just going to talk about Pythagorean's theorem. So a hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. And here's what I mean by that. So let's say I have this right triangle drawn here. And here's how you identify it, the hypotenuse. If you find the right angle, always draw an arrow from the right angle to the opposite side. That's always your hypotenuse, okay? The leg. So the sides of a right triangle that are shorter than the hypotenuse. Okay, so here's what this means. It means this. So if I draw a right triangle, all right, I'm going to first identify the hypotenuse. That's this. And then you're going to go in. The sides that are not hypotenuses are called the leg. The sides that are not the hypotenuse, so identify that one first, and the other sides are called legs. Okay, that's your example. A right triangle is a triangle where, well, a triangle that has a 90-degree angle in it. And now here's an example where this is the hypotenuse. This is called the 90-degree angle, and you'll see that box is very distinctive. And then leg and leg. Okay, now what is Pythagorean's theorem? On the diagnostic, a lot of you guys said the sum of the square of the two sides equals the square of the third side. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. When we have a right triangle, and I'll just use this one, the hypotenuse is normally called the C. The two legs are normally called the A and the B, and it doesn't matter which ones you call A and B, but you have to get C right. And what Pythagorean's theorem tells me is that if I extend a square out here, and if I extend a square out here, and I extend a square out onto the hypotenuse, and let's say if I find the area of these squares. So the area of a square, if this length is A, if this leg is A, then this leg is A as well. So A times A is A squared. And then here, if this side is B and this is a square, so we can put B times B is B squared. And if we've already called this side C, then we get C times C is C squared. So what this is saying is, if I add the area of these two squares together, it would equal the area of this square. Okay, so if I was to literally take this apart and take this square and put it inside of this square and this square and put it inside of this square, they would equal. So Pythagorean's theorem tells me that if I take the area of this square plus the area of this square, it should equal the area of this square. So that is Pythagorean's theorem and what it means. For those of you that said on the diagnostic, the sum of the area of the two squares equals the area of the third side of the third square. So that's what that means, babies. So, and here is that formula that goes with it. All right. So let's try this practice problem together, and then you guys will try the next one. It says the following are the lengths of the sides of a right triangle. Find the missing sides. So they gave me some parts. So what I'm going to do is draw a picture. I'm going to draw a right triangle, and I'm going to draw it like this. And I'm going to put the right angle right here. Okay, so if this is my right triangle, then across from that would be my hypotenuse. And then this would be, this is my C, and I'm going to just call this A or B. However you want to do it, it's fine with me. Okay, so A, they said is equal to 3. B is what it wants me to find, and it told me C was 10. Well, since this is a right triangle and I want to find this leg here, I know I can use Pythagorean's theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I know that A is 3, and anytime you put something into an equation, make sure you put it in parentheses. So 3 squared plus B squared equals 10 squared. So I get 9 plus B squared equals 100. And then minus 9 minus 9. B squared equals 100 minus 9 is 91. And then you're going to take the square root of B squared. And what you can use is decimals. So you can go, decimals is on your PDF, or you can just type in decimal scientific calculator on Google. And then you push the square root of 91 in there, and it tells you it's 9 point, and I'm going to the nearest hundred, so 9.54. So here B would be 9.54, and then it give you any units, so you're going to say units. Are you finished? Okay, so I want you to try this one. And if you have any questions, I got you when you come to class. Or you can always come to tutoring. Bye.